welcome to the Wayfaring Panda. I'm Annette. Today I'm participating in a YouTube hop called Paw Your Way Into Our Hearts, and it was started by Miranda Weber and Rebecca Lockhart. And the idea is to get together once a month and do a scrapbook page featuring our pets. Usually it's a dog, and some people do cats, but it can be any pet. So today I'm doing a scrapbook page of my previous dog. And so I'm starting with this 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, and it's actually one I got, I think, at a discount scrapbook store when I was on vacation last year, so I could not find this paper online. And it was called Young and Active by Ronnie McCrae in the Backyard. And it was from the Scrappin' Sports and More collection, I guess. Anyway, it was just paper that was on clearance. So I'm stamping some words. My goal is to try to use some of my card making supplies for my scrapbooking and vice versa. So that way I'll use more of my supplies. So I'm using some stamps that are really more for card making, and it was one of my first clear stamp sets, and it's a dog set. And one of the dogs looked like a schnauzer. That's why I got it. So I'm stamping it upside down because my stamping platform won't hold a 12 by 12, so I wanted it in the bottom right-hand corner. So that's why I'm doing it upside down. And the saying I'm using is called, I've got a spot in my heart for you. I thought that would be appropriate because I'm kind of doing a 101 Dalmation theme, even though my dog is a schnauzer. And you'll see why when you see the picture. So I thought the spot in my heart went good with that. Then I'm also getting some footprints from a different stamp set. And the first one came from Mama Elephant, and it's called Playful Pups. It is an old set, so I don't know if they still make that one. And the other set I'm using is from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I'm just using the paw prints in that one because it has larger paw prints than the other one does. And this one is called Furrever Friends. And I'll list all the products that I'm using in the description below. Now, the ink I'm using is called Versafine Clair, and it's Nocturn ink. So I wanted to use this one because I know it stamps really dark black. And I'm using my stamping platform so that way if it doesn't turn out clear, I can stamp over it because I don't want to ruin my scrapbook paper by having a partial stamp. Next, I'm doing my journaling tag, and this came from Doodlebug Designs from their scrapbooking kit called Fun at the Park. And I picked this one because I'm trying to keep with the colors that will go with 101 Dalmatians. So I cut out a tag from their paper that has tags on both sides, and it coordinates with other paper that I used. And then I'm just using an old stencil I have from Creative Memories to put some lines on because I can't write straight. I have to have lines or my writing is terrible. I didn't want my tag to be stark white against the red paper, so I'm going around the edges and just distressing it with some black soot distress ink and my blender. Now I'm decorating my tag to make it look more polished and also to add some doggy vibes to it. So first of all, I'm adding a brad that's shaped like a dog bone, and I'm trying to use my crocodile, but I haven't used it for a while, so I had trouble getting it to work right. Okay, plan B. Get the old-fashioned paper punch out and punch a hole. The crocodile already smashed the brad, so I don't have to worry about that, so I just used some glossy accents to glue it on. And that way there's still a hole to put my string in and the hole looks finished because you're not going to see the backside anyway. While I'm waiting for the glossy accents to dry, I'm going ahead and starting doing my journaling. And then as I'm writing, I noticed I wrote Vicky, which is my current dog's name instead of Jackie, so I stop. At first, I was going to just get another tag with the same paper, but there wasn't one. And then I realized, well, Vicky and Jackie's almost the same. I just got to erase the first two letters, so I just used one of my gel pens, the white gel pen, to go over the first two letters. And then while I'm making sure that the gel is drying, I'm going ahead and starting putting my string on. So this is just some twine from Lawn Fawn. And then I'm just adding a charm to the twine, which is from a scrapbook store that's kind of local. It's in a little town called Kemswick. They have a little scrapbook store there. And this is just a brand that they carry called Pawsitively Pawsome Designs. And the little tag says best friend, and it has a little paw print with a heart. So I thought that would be a perfect way to dress this up. Now that I got that done, I go back to journaling, and I'm just changing the name to Jackie and saying how Jackie liked to sleep in our beds when it was cold outside. And this particular photo, she's in my sister's room, so I added that. My sister had her bed decorated with 101 Dalmatians, with a 101 Dalmatian sheets and comforter. Then I just trim up the bow a little bit more, and I got some sharper scissors this time. And I also added some Paw Print Brads, and I'm using a smaller hole punch so that I won't have too big of a hole in my tag. And then I realized these are actually called brads, the ones I'm using here. The one earlier is an eyelet. Now that I finally finished the tag, we'll get back to the scrapbook page. So I cut out this cut file, and it's from Confessions of a Paper Addict. And the file is called ZZZ is the file if you want that one. I cut that out on my brother's scan and cut, and then I backed it with paper from Echo Park and Doodlebug. So the Doodlebug paper came from the same collection I used before, which is at the park. And I used some paper also from Echo Park, which is Magic and Wonder. And I think I had a 6x6 pad, which was called Wish Upon a Star. So I was just trying to use up some of my scraps and use paper that had the colors that you kind of associate with 101 Dalmatians. And then I just glue that on with my Nouveau Deluxe glue. Now this was the first time I did a cut file, and I just did it while I was watching TV. And I really like how it turned out. Then I just glue on this strip of scrap paper I had from an old 6x6 pad from Echo Park, which was also similar to the other ones that I was using, and it has the same color pattern. And I'm just using that to ground my picture. And my photo is backed with black cardstock, and I attached that with some photo splits or photo squares. For my title, I cut out some letters with the same papers that I used for the cut file. And I like that I used the star paper kind of throughout, because that kind of gives the idea of nighttime. And my title is Nighty Night, because it looks like Jackie is saying, it's time for nighty night. Someone come and snuggle me and warm me up. I use a quilting ruler to go across the grids that I have on my glass mat to help me keep it straight, but it's still not perfectly straight. But I'm not going to be measuring it, and the album is for me and my sisters, so I'm not going to be upset that something's a 1/4 inch off. I'll put a list of all the products that I used in the description below. Some of these will be affiliate links. They don't cost you anything to use, but I do get a small commission when anyone shops from any of those links, and that helps support my channel. Also, some of these products probably are not available because they are older products, but I know like the Echo Park and Doodlebug usually released pattern paper every year that has this kind of same look. So you can find papers that have these colors and style to kind of be reminiscent of Disney. After I finished, I decided it needed some paw prints kind of going across the page and looking like the paw prints come out on the other side of the page. So then I did get my stamps out, and this time I just used my stamping black to add them. Although on a couple of them I didn't get quite a complete stamp, so I do apologize. I had to lean over in front of the camera to make sure I was lining them up. Although I didn't always get a perfect stamp when I redid them, but actually it doesn't turn out to be too noticeable. As I mentioned earlier, this is part of Paw Your Way into Our Hearts Hop, so I'll have a list of all the people that are participating in the hop below. Please hop along and get some more inspiration of doing scrapbook pages of your pets and help support the other creators. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. And if you're not already a subscriber, I'd really appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel. And for those of you who are subscribers, I want to thank you for continuing to watch my videos and for your continued support. I hope everyone has a wonderful day.